They had tremendous friendships and developed protection keeping over the last few days. And it's going very well. And we have hostages back, which was a big deal. That's sweet. And one of the things that are happening even today, in last month at Winklevoss, everyone wants to see it happen. Countries that didn't get along with each other are now seemingly in love with each other. The Middle East have the extra the deal will still be there. It's going to be, it's something you can remember. We sell now 8 boards. We are going to build them all from right at the beginning. He had it designed by one of the top architects. Washington is very, very respected. And very, very respected, actually. And we're starting the process, and there we have a Jimbooming and the sexualist study right behind us. And if your love of this is really a knockout time, should I show you? I guess maybe we still say it, right? So they don't really want you to walk on there, but you can take a look at them work. Yes, because we took all the strength from underneath that collapsed to be flagship that able to literally is. It's could be demolished. Everything out here is coming down, and we're replacing it with one of the most beautiful ballrooms that you've ever seen. We have some pictures, and basically it's right here as you wind down. Here's the west wing, and here's the east side, which has been tinkered with for years and years and years. So we had originally a very meaningful building. They call it the East Wing, but that was telling. So the semi knocked out about 5 times the shade the week of everything house was originally done by McKinney and Wyatt, the audience house. And so that came down, the most gets taken down already. And we started excavation. I'm very good at building things on time on a budget. Actually, he had, as an example, India and Pakistan were going at it really hard. 7 points we shut down. It was going to happen. Bad things to happen. And we're talking both of them about trade. And it's telling them, he was just sure we're doing very well with trade. Well, I'm not going to do well. I'm not going to do a trade deal. Let's say stop the war. And I got one call, and I said, well, they put 200 pieces together for your country. Ready product to sell it to the United States, unless you stop this war, because I'm not going to be a party to it. You have 2 military nations, by the way. No, you can't do that. I say, I can't do that. Very easy. Ever. I think I have to lose millions of people from the planet, and frankly, that does still over here, too. In fact, everything is a powerful weapon. Too powerful. Still powerful, you know, we're talking about it. So they said, because the yes, I think the current. If you're going to go and do it for kind of only cases will be no trade with the United States of America. Both actions, I vote the leaders, I like them both. That's why. But I said, that's the way it is. And they called the next day, we have decided to de-escalate. Decided like you will action. We have decided that we will not fight. I said that you come to me, yes, we're not going to do anything. This I can stop. He said, and found a group of people. He said, this man saved 3 million, 5 million, maybe an untold number of lives. And it was just recently because that thing, and we didn't do a list of them like that. And part of the reason we did it was, I think, of the 8, I would say 5, well, because of the power of trade, the power of tariffs. The tariffs have made us see a very high inflation because a lot of people are dying. I use that for purposes of stopping wars and not stopping wars. And it's sort of interesting. I'll be the only president. I don't think any president stopped one war. I saw 8 wars to 8 last. Did I get a Nobel Prize? No. Even I said, yeah, that's an impossible. But so early. I was expecting next year will be better. That's what I don't think you don't care about. I say maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. It's already kind of spent. So now we get back to the point of hand. Hey, that's you're looking because you contributed to this incredible building that we've been wanting for so many years. So proud of what we've done with Brad. This was a very safe city. This went from a very unsafe city where you were afraid to go out to dinner to a city that's extremely safe. It's people, and we are working on this. It's been a miracle almost. It took 12 days. We took out 1,700 people, brought them back to their countries from where they came. Many of them were let in through the Biden open border British thing, where they let people in from jails, from prisons and mental institutions. Insane asylum, it's a mental institution on steroids. And I mean, they're literally emptying out insane asylums into our country. This is Venezuela, but other countries also, not only Venezuela. And speaking of Venezuela, we get a lot of drugs. We had a lot of drugs. Don't get me about water. That's south. It's a winter. In fact, nobody wants to go fishing at Nobody wants to go anywhere at go water. They want to have a pretty good boat, and they want to get rid of their boat because they are very nervous about the another one. It's been amazing. So now we're having literally, it was like a subway train of people and drugs coming into this country. A lot of you coming from Venezuela, a lot of you come from Mexico on a week of all friends. But we wanted to knock out the one track. I can tell you, we cannot find anybody anymore. We're looking at that, they're looking at this. It's not a poem of the entire ocean. And when you see outside of the ocean line, is that even there a little bit concerned. It's showing you the power and the strength and the technology of our great job. Now we have better under the really beautiful building because we have no tax for, think of this, you have no tax on tips and you have no tax on Social Security and you have to New York because you have no tax on lower town. It's really a middle, I would say a middle of the road bill from the standpoint of who is it representing us, the workers. It's the biggest bill ever passed in the history of Congress. And I'm glad we did it because we don't need any more bills. We have everything in that way. Plus we have the deductible other every single year for 10 years. The other one had the 1 year got a rush. This year, this time, actually I was in favor of rushing because that's all very good for elections, but it's not about elections. So awfully good. So you have the deductibility. You have so many different things. We have great social programs, $50 billion going to rural hospital. So the great big beautiful bill, and we can't no longer find our jerk happy because we had little bargains about that. A lot of people want to do it in small chunks. I said, you do it in small chunks, you never get a group. You get some group, but not all of it. It's not even large. You get much less. I always say to us, 30%. So they've never done this before. But every single thing that I wanted for 4 years in one bill, and we call it, some people call it different. I call it the great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And then the ballroom for the White House is the thing that you people have really, really been very generous with. And we're going to build a room that's going to be able to hold literally the inauguration if we want. All of the glass on the sides is bulletproof. It's 999 people it can hold. So we figure we have 125 people in here approximately now, which I've never seen before. I've always heard it's less than 100. But it's amazing when you have too many people, you can fit them in. You can always fit a few more people in. And pardon the fact that you're a little tight at your table, that's okay. It's better than lots of room for everybody because nobody shows up, right? But you've been so generous in your contributions, very substantial money, fully financed, it's fully taken care of now. And in fact, we'll have money left over, and we'll use that for something. We'll use that probably maybe for the Ark or something else that will come, but we love to fix up Washington. And I said, how long would the process take? Because I'm so used to zoning. And I've gotten a lot of zoning over the years to these two guys, these two geniuses, like movie stars, and they have a good brain besides. That's pretty nice, yeah? Nice to have you guys both with us. So they said, how long? I said, how long would it take? They said, sir, you can start tonight. I said, what are you talking about? You have 0 zoning conditions. You're the president. I mean, I can actually do something that I really want because I'm used to sitting with heads of community boards and politicians, and it's fine. It's part of the
the beauty, if you want to call it that, or sometimes it's not so beautiful, of being a real estate developer, especially in New York. It takes you years and years, and it's, it's heartache. Then they said, well, sir, we'd like you to cut off 40 stories. I had one where I had it 67 stories was approved, and we go to the end, and I get an emergency phone call from the head. Well, sir, may we see you? And they come in, sir, we're going to really not be able to approve it. We want you to cut off 42 stories. Cut off. In other words, we lose 42 stories. I said, there's no way you're doing it. So we fought it out for 2 years. You end up getting what you want, but it's a brutal process. So over here, I said, how long will it take me? Sir, you can start tonight. You have no approvals. I said, you got to be kidding. He said, sir, this is the White House. You're the President of the United States. You can do anything you want. We have little things like at the Lincoln bedroom. The bathroom was done by the Truman family, and a long time ago. And it's done in a green tile, and it's done as in a style that was not exactly it's a style that's not good. So it's actually Art Deco, and Art Deco doesn't go with 1850 and civil wars and all of the problem. But what does do is statuary marble. So I ripped it apart and we built a bathroom. It's absolutely gorgeous and totally in keeping with that time, because the Lincoln bedroom is so incredible for those of you that have seen it. We have so many different downstairs. We have the palm room, and they had 1-by-1 tiles that were put there probably 20 years ago by somebody. And they were broken and bad. It's embarrassing. And I took it out and we did a magnificent book-matched statuary marble floor. We fixed the room and we put up the right, the proper lighting and chandeliers. I mean, it looks like when people walk up, they can't believe how beautiful it is. And so we like to fix it up. And it's a little bit of my heritage, fix up and clean up and make it nice. And we're doing that with the White House. So the largest room in the White House was the East Room. That's this room right here, by far. And it currently holds, let's say, as we said, 100. And for this reason, during major functions and events, administrations going back many, many decades were forced to severely limit the number of events they had, and certainly limit the number of people. And they had some catastrophic events. Some of the biggest events were a tent being built on the lawn, and the rain started, and it for some reason, every time they put up a tent here, it rains, and that's not good. And they tended to use a lower level, which is, they have pretty big land here. But they used a lower level where the rain would just seep into the ballroom, and it wasn't pretty when you're sitting down having dinner, talking about, hello, President Xi, and how have you been? And hello, Emmanuel from France, and all the different people that we've had here. And you've got about 4 inches of water, literally, that's going over your shoes, and you're trying to pretend that it's not happening, but it's not. So we won't have that stuff anymore, and it'll be great. That's it. We really need it. The United States is the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, and American presidents need to be able to host events at the White House that reflect the demands of the time, and that can be carry out the prestige of what we're all doing. I mean, we're a country that a year ago was dead. We were a dead country a year ago, as many of you know. And today we're the hottest country anywhere in the world by far. Everybody admits it. King of Saudi Arabia told me that. You've heard me say it. But Qatar, UAE, the European Union came in, every country. They said, it's unbelievable what's happened with the United States. We're hot. And I'll tell you what, had this other group of lunatics been elected, this country would have, I think, you would have actually failed. So we went from being a country that was dead, a country that was really in trouble, open borders, everything they did wrong, men and women, sports, transgender for everybody, every single thing they did was wrong. Just go the opposite, and you couldn't miss. And we had an election that was a landslide. It was so big. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won all 7 swing states, or 7 swing states, as you know. And if you win 3 or 4, you do great, but to win 7 is very rare that you see that happen. We won all 7. We won the Electoral College by a lot. We're at 312. Remember, they said, well, I don't know if he can get above 250. No, we didn't. We got 312, and it was great. We beat them by a lot. But we have another where you would call it districts, or you would call it, there's a map split up, beautifully split up in tiny little quadrants, and they call them districts, they call them just areas, and we were 2,750 to 525. That's why when you look at a map of the election, it was all red with 2 blue stripes down on one end and the other. And even them I worry about because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think we did great there. And so we've had an amazing time. It's the most powerful nation on earth now. You see that. You see the weaponry. We have the greatest weapons, the greatest manufacturer of weapons. Some of you are in that world, and some of you, the greatest in the world. We have the greatest in the world. I wish we could make them faster, if you want to know the truth. Everybody, all of our allies want them, and they want them as quick as they can. The American presidents need to be able to showcase our country. So we'll begin the historic, really historic effort to add the, we'll call presidential ballroom, that'll expand the space for tens of thousands of people will be able to come during the course of a year if you add it all up and have the kind of space that you need. It's very exciting. To me, it's exciting as a person in real estate because you'll never get a location like this again. Even contracts, I gave out the contracts myself. Can you believe it? And we just gave out the excavation contract, and I guess he was in for 3.2 million. I said, can you do it for 1.5? No, I can't do that, sir. I can't. I said, this is once in a lifetime. This is the excavation of the White House grounds for what will be one of the best, most beautiful ballrooms in the world. Sir, I can't. So, but I got him down to 2 million, so it's not terrible. So we got it. And so many people were so great. Carrier is a great company, air conditioning. He called, he said, sir, we'd like to donate the air conditioning. I said, that's a beautiful thing. I appreciate that. You're donating it to not giving it to me, giving it to the country. He donated the air conditioning, a steel company, a great steel company, a great man, actually. He said, sir, I'd like to donate the steel for your ballroom. I said, well, that's nice. And I found out, how much is the steel? I called the contract. Sir, it's down for 37 million. I said, this is a nice donation, right? He wants the steel, and he wants to make it great steel as opposed to garbage steel because they dump a lot of garbage around, you know. Steel is like everything else, including human beings. Steel can be high quality and it can be low quality. He wants to make sure it's high quality. And so many different people are donating services and they're donating products to the ballroom. It's amazing. If we keep going like this, I may be able to build it for nothing. You know, we'll get it built for nothing. But we're going to be projecting a cost that's going to be, we're going to come in under budget. We started with a much smaller building, and then I realized, we have the land, let's do it right. And so we built a larger building that can really hold just about any function that we want. It'll be done with really exquisite taste, the finest designers, and I consider myself an important designer because they come in with things that they may be good designers, but boy, the things they can recommend are horrible. And we wanted plastic, the utmost respect for the historic beauty and grandeur of one of the most iconic buildings anywhere in the world. You go to the White House and you see that picture. When you ride up in the drive, like tonight, probably some of you realize you drive up that drive and you're looking at that building all lit up and gorgeous and perfect, and we take good care of it too. Wasn't taken good care of. The Oval Office is now at a level that it's never seen before. We take really great care of it. They weren't taking good care of it for 4 years, I'll tell you that.